gentlemen, welcome to W.M.S.T episode number 30, the big 3-0. 31 weeks of recording this podcast. Here is the cast for tonight. We've got the editor-in-chief, Ziggler. What up, man?
Y'all ready for Wednesday Night Wars this coming October?
Hell yeah, man. October is going to be a hell of a month.
It's going to be a hell of a fall.
That's true. And we've got everybody's favorite weirdo, and mine, of course, Cam.
Hi. I would have something witty, but not today.
Not today. Maybe next week. I think that's one of the things people look forward to the most. What is Cam going to say? Because, he's always coming out with some surprises. But yeah, all right. Let's get started with this week's episode. Let's talk about recent news coming out about Birds of Prey, which is set to release in February 2020. Chad Stahelski, the director for John Wick, was recently brought in to do reshoots for the movie. Apparently, after the movie was done, the WB were not really that happy with the movie. So first-time director Kathy Yan didn't really get their approval. So Chad Stahelski was apparently recently brought in to shoot some additional action scenes. And apparently there's going to be a few scenes that are going to connect to the next Suicide Squad movie. So that'll make it more connected to the DCEU. So I personally thought it was a very interesting news. Chad Stahelski has, of course, proved himself to be a really good action director with his John Wick work. So I was like, you know what, this is really awesome. And I mean, he's somebody that could have possibly directed the movie from the beginning if they thought about it. But, that's how WB is. They hire somebody, they don't like their work, and then they have people come in for the reshoots. And I know reshoots
Chad Stahelski was he's all busy with the John Wick series, so
yeah. So I guess they
John
weren't
Wick
able
4 is coming out in a few years.
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure he was filming or in the post production for John Wick 3, so he couldn't come in for Birds of Prey. But they finally got him, and I'm happy that they got a named director to come in and actually do the reshoots. I know people really don't like reshoots when it comes to DCEU. We know all the Snyder Cut drama and all that. But I think he is somebody that's I think he's going to be a safe bet when it comes to action flicks. And Ziggler, what did you think overall, though?
I mean, yeah, I'm excited actually. It's pretty cool because if you've seen the John Wick movies, you know that Chad Stahelski knows how to make great action sequences. And some superhero movies don't have that great action sequences. And, it kind of sucks. But now that, and I've always wanted to see like a nice, awesome, great, hand-to-hand action scene and in a superhero film, and it's cool that we're probably gonna get a great one with all wide shots and just great stunt work too. But yeah, Chad Stahelski is a fucking man, and I hope he works on more maybe DCEU or MCU movies. It would have been cool. My dream director for the new Black Widow movie would have been Chad Stahelski, because in Black Widow, she would have been in some awesome action sequences if Chad Stahelski was a director. So yeah, he was my dream director for Black Widow. But Birds of Prey, I'm not really sure who's in Birds of Prey. I know Harley Quinn is, and Huntress, and a lot of other people.
Black Canary.
Yeah.
So those are the three main characters, and Black Mask.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they're all hand-to-hand combat fighters too.
Yeah, they're all hand-to-hand.
Yeah, so it's gonna be cool to see them in great action scenes. So yeah, I can't wait for that.
Yeah, That's definitely true.
And I'm not
Cam,
surprised that Warner Brothers hated the movie, hated the rough draft in the movie.
right?
I mean, they kind of had to step up their game after the last Suicide Squad movie.
Right, and also it's a first-time director too, so I guess she didn't really have the vision for a big budget movie like this. So
they had to get a great action director like Chad. So
right, that's true. And Cam, your thoughts on Chad Stahelski coming in for the reshoots for Birds of Prey?
I'll keep it brief. Let's just hope that it doesn't blow goats like Suicide Squad. Also, take your time with it. Don't rush it.
That's true. That's definitely one of the bigger problems. Just, don't rush it. Take your time. And I think they've been shooting for like about a year now, so I think it should turn out just fine. And so with that, let's move on to our next topics. One of the biggest news that came out this week and caught a lot of people by surprise was Matrix being revived. So Matrix 4 is going to be in development soon, and it's going to be helmed by Lily Wachowski, who was one of the original directors for the Matrix movies, and of course the man himself, the breathtaking man himself, Keanu Reeves, will be returning, and apparently most of the original cast will be returning for the movie.
Fun fact: Chad Stahelski was the stunt double for Keanu Reeves in the original Matrix.
Exactly.
So that's pretty crazy.
Yeah, I was about to make that connection. That's a crazy connection, and I mean, I kind of hope he comes in for as a co-director or something like that. I think that would be pretty cool as well. And I mean, this is a pretty big news because for the past few years, the movie has been in kind of a limbo because of disputes between the Wachowskis and Warner Brothers as to who owned the rights for the movies. But I think they were able to come to a settlement, and now the franchise is back. And I mean, honestly, people can be all cynical, be like, "Oh, come on, the trilogy was perfect, blah blah blah." But I think at the same time, you have to realize we are in an era of reboots and remakes, and you might as well bring back the original movie that started the era of CGI blockbusters, and you bring back a star that's bigger than ever. Keanu Reeves' popularity is so high, you might as well have him come back to the character that made him famous. And it's it's kind of a win-win to me.
Besides Bill and Ted.
Bill and Ted Face the Music coming out next August.
Do you know if it's going to be the same directors?
For Matrix?
Yeah, the Wachowski sisters.
No, they're not going to be the ones directing.
Good.
Yeah, it's only one of the sisters. One of the sisters, I think Lana is the one who's not directing, and Lily is the one who is going to be coming in to direct the movie. So, and she's going to be writing the movie as well. So she hasn't had a lot of hits per se. So I don't know, like maybe this one turns out fine, but it's pretty interesting. And it definitely caught a lot of people off guard. Ziggler, what did you think of the news?
I don't know. I mean, I first saw the original Matrix when I was a kid, and I loved it. And then I recently watched it like last year, and it was alright. I mean, it wasn't the worst, it wasn't the best, but it was alright. I think I kind of think the movie's a little bit overrated, how people talk about it, but it's still an alright film. It's still enjoyable. But then I watched the next two, and the next two were just awful. Matrix Reloaded and Revolutions, it was just a bore fest, man. I mean, it was just so boring. I couldn't even continue watching it. I mean, I stopped like in the middle of like the third one. I'm like, okay, I can't watch this anymore. It's boring as hell. I gotta do something like put in my Infinity War disc or something like that. But no, I'm just kidding. But yeah, it was just really boring, the last two. So I really don't have any hype for the new Matrix 4, even though Keanu Reeves is in it, and I love Keanu Reeves. I mean, I might watch it, and I might not. It just depends. I don't know. I wasn't really thrilled when the news broke, so I was just like, oh, all right, that's cool, I guess.
Yeah.
And, yeah.
Yeah, hopefully she learns from her mistakes when she made Reloaded and Revolution. I heard a lot of people say like how those two movies had a lot of talking rather than the action scenes.
Yeah. And the action scenes and the CGI and the action scenes were terrible. They were awful. They were like prequel bad.
My goodness.
They were Star Wars prequels bad.
Yeah, I mean, you have one of the biggest action stars in the world, so you might as well utilize him. And Cam, what are your thoughts on the news?
I'm not that big of a fan of the franchise. Like, I actually have the original 3 movies on DVD, but the only instance of actually me seeing it was basically just replaying the car chase scene from Reloaded. I wasn't really that high on it. It's like, oh, that's nice. But at least there's like a Matrix movie to come out now. And in this current age, because we're in the current age of reboots, remakes, and trying to do things for quick money.
Sequels,
prequels, reboots, whatever.
well, it's sequels too. I mean,
I said sequels.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Whatever.
Anyway, at least they're getting some of the original cast members back, and of course they're getting Keanu Reeves back. I mean, he's one of the main protagonists of the movies, and it basically launched his career. Besides him being a cult favorite in Bill and Ted, I'm hoping for the best for the movie. It should be fine, and of course, I hope that they learn from their mistakes from the past 2 movies.
Yeah, that's true. I think that's one of the biggest things people or these studio executive need to realize. If you're doing a reboot or a remake, maybe try to improve on the original rather than rehash and repeat. Just a thought. I don't know.
That's what they should be doing with the Spider-Man movies.
I mean, one like great reboot that's like better than the original is Mad Max Fury Road with Tom Hardy and Charlize Theron.
Yeah,
that is such a great movie.
The funny thing about that movie is even that movie is in a similar place where it's in a legal limbo with the original director for the movie and Warner Brothers fighting for the right, and that's pretty much why we haven't gotten a Mad Max sequel
Development
yet.
hell, basically.
Yeah, I mean, they already have the new Mad Max movie pitched though.
Yeah, but like the legal rights is what's not allowing them to.
And the original director, I forgot his name, but the original director who directed George Miller.
George Miller, correct.
Yeah. The original director for Mad Max, one with Mel Gibson, directed Fury Road too. So. Yeah,
exactly. So hopefully they resolve that.
Yeah, I would love to get a sequel with him directing it again.
That's true. Yeah, that's definitely a franchise that needs to come back. All right, so franchise that needs to make a comeback. Let's talk about Star Wars and D23. So we recently had the trailer for The Mandalorian released, which is going to be helmed by Jon Favreau. And we also had the big news that Ewan McGregor is going to be returning as Obi-Wan for his own Disney Plus original series. I mean, that's huge news. Ewan McGregor is such a talented actor. I'm glad he's back in the Star Wars universe. Definitely somebody that should have been there at the beginning of the sequel trilogy, but it's like better late than never, you know. And The Mandalorian looks pretty fun. Not gonna lie, it looks like a really badass movie. I don't know much about The Mandalorian, but he kind of reminds me of Boba Fett, and I've always wanted to see Boba Fett in his own movie or like a team up movie where he's the focus. So I thought that was pretty cool, and the budget is like big for the series, so because each episode is going to be looking like a movie, and I think that's really awesome. Another D23 news that came out was She-Hulk is going to be turned into a series. So another character that Marvel thinks isn't really good enough to get their own movie or important enough to be focused in a team-up movie. They are going to be relegated to Disney Plus. More details have to come about the series, but still pretty interesting news. So Ziggler, what are your thoughts on that D23 news?
Yeah, I mean, I don't really give a shit about the Star Wars news because Disney made me not like Star Wars anymore. So it's kind of hard to give a fuck about Star Wars. I didn't watch the Mandalorian trailer yet. I might after this is done. I don't know, but I love Pedro Pascal and he plays the Mandalorian. So I'm definitely gonna buy Disney Plus, that bundle they have with ESPN and Plus and Hulu. I'm definitely gonna get that because of a few things. And I did not expect this, but today they released that they announced that they're gonna have a Moon Knight series, and I was like, holy fuck! I mean, I'm excited for one, yes, but I'm also worried because it's Disney and Moon Knight, Mark Spector, is a rated R character, and I'm nervous that they're gonna tone him down a lot. So that's a nervous thing that I have, but I'm excited for it nonetheless, and it's a series, so it's gonna be fun. And also they have a Miss Marvel series with Kamala Khan. So yeah, that should be fun. That should be all right too. So yeah, I mean, I'm not really into like the Star Wars thing, even though Ewan McGregor is returning. I love Ewan McGregor as Obi-Wan. He was so good. He was the best part of the prequels. So when I get Disney Plus, I might check that out just for the Ewan McGregor factor. So yeah, those are my thoughts.
Sounds good. And Cam, your thoughts on the D23 news?
I could care less about the Star Wars stuff. I'm glad that Ewan is coming back though, but the main thing that I saw were the Marvel Disney Plus stuff, and that was for She-Hulk and Kamala Khan, Miss Marvel. Those should be fun, I guess.
Yeah, very true. I'm kind of surprised they didn't announce it at Comic-Con, but I guess it wasn't.
They just wanted more
official
stuff for D23.
Yeah, D23 kind of has become like Disney's own Comic-Con, and
Yeah, pretty much.
Kind of weird because a lot of
probably
studios
just had too much for Comic-Con. It's like, let's just put the rest of it here.
let's save some for us.
Yeah. I wouldn't doubt it if they announce more Phase 4 movies tomorrow.
Right. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised either because they probably were saving some.
Phase 4 movies, there's not a lot of Phase 4 movies. It's like 4 or 5, I believe.
Yeah. There's a lot of interesting movies, but nothing crazy,
Yeah, the only one that stands out to me in Phase 4 would be Thor.
Only because it's
also Doctor Strange.
Yeah, I mean, personally for me, Doctor Strange would be the more interesting one because
it's the multiverse.
Right, so we can see a lot of alternate realities of different characters. Yeah. So
I'm definitely looking forward to the Marvel TV shows on Disney Plus.
Yeah, and speaking of Disney, this is a topic I quickly wanted to cover. I mean, are Disney live action remakes going too far, guys?
Yeah.
I recently saw
1,000 times yes.
The Lady and the Tramp remake into live action, and I was shocked. I was like, there's no way this can be happening. I mean, I should be expecting stuff like this, but it's still so crazy to me. Realistic looking dogs is what Disney's going for.
That's it, just realistic dogs.
Realistic looking dogs.
Action,
Wait, they dropped the trailer?
Like Lion King
Yeah,
and
they dropped
Cinderella.
the trailer,
I didn't even know they were doing a live action Lady and the Tramp.
Yeah,
To be honest, I did not know.
I was shocked too, but it's actually not gonna be like a movie, but it's gonna be like a Disney Plus original movie, like one of those Netflix movies. That kind of
Good.
thing. My goodness.
I don't want that in my
God.
theater.
Yeah, I mean, I already have enough creepy looking animals on screen, cats.
I mean, I think
Cats
it's
was enough.
dude, Cats. That trailer was fucking insane. I was laughing.
It
I
was an
laughing
acid
the
trip
whole
gone wrong.
Yeah. You would
What
think
did they do to my boy Idris?
I know. I mean, everybody
Why
on
did they
Fast,
do that?
everybody on Hobbs and Shaw made made fun of him apparently for doing the movie. I'm like, yeah, because you're dressed as a cat. God
You're
dang it.
Idris
You're dressed as a
fucking
cat.
Elba.
You're looking like somebody's
You're the
sleep
man.
paralysis demon.
You could be the next James Bond. You can be freaking Green Lantern. Jon
You're a
Stewart.
superstar and you're a fucking cat.
My goodness. But yeah, and plus the Lion King remake. I mean, we don't even need to talk about it. Ugh, so horrible. But I mean, yeah, Disney's definitely going too far with these remakes and
Running
reboots
out
of.
of ideas.
I mean, I know Disney's not one to come up with original ideas, but I mean, copy something new for goodness sake. Like, I know like Lion King and Aladdin are not original stories because they have been adapted from books and other series, but it's like at least try to come up with something that hasn't been done before. My goodness. But
You can refer back to our remix and reboots ruining originality thing in our archives.
right, exactly. That pretty much that topic pretty much is timeless right now. It's kind of weird to be honest. All right. So let's move on.
I just find the remakes pointless too. Like the live,
Oh yeah.
like just watch the original cartoons. They're good. They're classics.
They're timeless.
Like I would choose the Lion King original over the new one,
I think anybody would honestly.
and I would choose the old Aladdin over the new Aladdin.
At least that one has Robin Williams in it.
Exactly. Robin Williams as Genie is fucking classic. It's genius. Will Smith
Right.
as Genie? No. I'm good, fam.
Yeah.
I don't need to see that. I don't need you to haunt my nightmares.
That's true. All right. So with that, let's move on to our next set of topics. So in the world of wrestling this week, we had the King of the Ring tournament on Raw and SmackDown. Now, I'm going to be honest with y'all. I was a bit disappointed in the matches that happened on Raw and SmackDown. Like, I wasn't expecting classics, but I was expecting good wrestling. But I got for some matches, I think that was the case, but for the others, it felt more like squash matches or glorified jobber matches rather than matches that were supposed to be King of the Ring worthy. Like we had Cedric Alexander versus Sami Zayn. I mean, it's a matchup that's going to be, if you give these guys 20-25 minutes, it's going to like steal the show, but
It was a 2-minute match.
Yeah, ended up being a glorified jobber match. And I'm not going to get started with the Kevin Owens stuff because we got a whole topic dedicated to that. But as for the winners, of course, Cedric moved on. And Elias ended up moving on. Pretty much
Joe.
Andrade and Samoa Joe.
Yeah, Andrade ended up moving on and Samoa Joe ended up moving on. But the Elias thing, though, man, that ended up busting my bracket because I had Kevin Owens going all the way to the final.
All of our brackets practically.
I know. It's worse than March Madness. Like, it's crazy that somebody as hot as Kevin Owens, who is at top of his game right now, literally got eliminated in the first round by Elias.
Did they really have to do the Shane McMahon screwjob thing in the first round?
I know, right? My goodness, these
Do that
these
in the finals.
These
So we get a
writers
bigger
have
reaction.
these writers at WWE have no patience or subtlety, or maybe it's just Vince. I mean, who knows? But
Like, they've never had patience.
I know that's true. So Cam, what have your thoughts been on the tournament, I guess, so far?
I've
And
been stagnant for now. Two first round matches have actually been pretty good. The Cesaro and Joe match was good. The Andrade and Apollo match was good. Other than that, it was just those two matches that. I didn't care much for the Cedric Sammy match. On paper, that's a good match, but it went too short.
yeah.
But still, I just vented about the Owens thing.
Yeah. I mean, that's true, though. Like, a lot of these matches, I felt like the first round could have taken place in the first two nights. I think that would have been really cool to see all the matches on Raw and SmackDown be King of the Ring matches. But that's just me. What do you think about this whole Kevin Owens situation? Why do you think Kevin Owens is literally not going anywhere after that huge W at SummerSlam?
They're running out of ideas. They're basically like, okay, we've done that for SummerSlam, but how are we gonna keep this going?
Championship? King of the Ring? Something. I don't know. Maybe we're the ones spinning.
You could have put the IC title on him, or you could have, I don't know, put him in the damn tournament and go all the way. That would have ruffled a few feathers.
They just, I don't know where they're going with that story though. Like, he was made out like in like the beginning of this rivalry or whatever. He was made out to be like this like stone cold character, and now he's this like.
It's
I
like
don't know,
whenever
he just
they get some wrestler, I don't know, Roman, Becky, Kevin, to be like anti-authority, to be against the authority, it's basically just trying to be a Austin bootleg.
Yeah, I know, but they're not doing it with Kevin Owens anymore because he is literally in Shane McMahon's office begging him to not lose his $100,000.
And
he literally begged him.
Since when is $100,000 a big amount of money for wrestlers? Like, I remember a few months ago, Paige fined Charlotte $100,000, and Charlotte just laughed it out. She was like, "Whatever." And then Kevin Owens is out here, losing his mind over $100,000. Like, the inconsistencies sometimes are crazy.
And also, you know what kills me? Kevin Owens put out his hand for a handshake, and then Shane McMahon was the one to refuse him. Like, no, what the? Kevin Owens shouldn't be shaking his hand.
Yeah, I know, it's a complete 360 of the character. 2 weeks ago, he was a badass who wouldn't be stopped by McMahon, and 2 weeks later, he's just begging for mercy, and it's just it's like frustrating.
He was like so strong like a few weeks ago. Now he's just like this weak, timid character.
I know, it makes no sense. That's why I had this question posed. I was like, where is this character going? What is the end goal? It makes no sense.
Yeah, what's the end game?
Right, exactly. What's
I want to know.
I know.
I have no idea where they're going with this, and hopefully it's a good direction. Hopefully they're just playing us all, and he's gonna turn. I don't know. He's gonna fucking kick some ass next week. I don't know.
Don't turn him heel again.
True.
Well, yeah. Don't turn him heel because he was like red hot though, like a few weeks ago. And now he's just like, I don't know, like people still like him, of course, because he's Kevin freaking Owens, but you know, it's just
he has a nice babyface momentum going on, but it's pretty much halted at this point.
Yeah, but like in like the next few weeks, if he goes all like kill Owens on Shane McMahon, that'd be awesome.
Yeah. He needs to realize, screw $100,000. It's about getting back to the McMahon, just fuck him over. Just get yours. You were screwed out of a King of the Ring spot. Like,
you were screwed out of a lot of opportunities because of him.
I know. Like, it's literally so unfair. Okay, here's
I don't care if you are the authority figure or the best in the goddamn world. You took something, and I'm gonna take it back.
Right. I mean,
Oh, and how much do you want to bet that they're gonna do Hell in a Cell again? I
oh my
basically just
goodness.
did a whole promo.
At Hell in a Cell.
Yeah,
In
it's
Let
like
them do Hell in a
October.
Cell all over again.
and it's like the roles are reversed now. One is a babyface, the other one is a heel now.
Exactly.
Please throw him off the cage.
Yeah, that's true. That should happen.
I
Never
thought
should
we were
have
at least
that.
gonna get like a month off from Shane when he lost.
You thought.
Yeah, I thought. I was stupid.
Yeah, happens, man. But here's a theory I've been thinking about. What if, I don't know, they somehow do the match again between Elias and Kevin Owens? What if Vince McMahon or somebody goes, you know what? That was unfair, Shane. There is no way that that fast count should be counted against Kevin Owens. You know what? Do the match again. I don't know.
I
Maybe
mean,
that can happen.
all McMahons are heels, so it's probably not gonna happen.
I mean, Stephanie McMahon is always flopping between heel and face, so maybe she wants to stick it to her
Heel to the
brother.
men and the face to the women, except
Right.
Becky.
Exactly. So I don't know. It's something that can happen. I kind of hope it does, but yeah, we'll see. And here is Shawn with his thoughts on the Kevin Owens storyline. So Shawn, what have you been thinking with this whole character turn for Kevin Owens from being a badass to like begging for mercy against the McMahons? What are your thoughts on his character and his loss in the first round of King of the Ring?
Well, one thing, I'm not surprised that he lost the first round of the King of the Ring, especially since he was facing Elias. That's like an easy, yeah, Shane screwing him. Even though I would have loved to see him win, it wasn't gonna happen. But I do miss him. His best run in being signed to WWE and NXT is when he first got hired. Nothing compares to that of what he's doing so far. So that's what I miss. But him being a face and loved by so many fans, pretty cool. As of right now, like where it's going, it's most likely gonna lead to Hell in a Cell again. Because I don't like, obviously, like another match with Shane is bound to happen. I would most likely imagine Hell in a Cell to happen because yeah, it's around the corner, and I don't think he's doing anything for Clash of Champions, but it seems kind of not like a little bit dead in the water right now, like where it's headed, because it's kind of like repeating itself a little bit, where he's constantly screwing him over, and Owens is basically getting like fucked by the McMahons right now, but you know, I just hope it leads to good things for Kevin Owens, because we only need good things for Kevin Owens.
Yeah, that's very true, man. I know he's one of your favorite characters, so I definitely hope WWE pushes him more consistently.
Same.
Yeah. All right, man. Thank you for that. Speaking of SmackDown, NXT looks like it's going to be taking SmackDown's midweek wrestling show spot for WWE, as it was announced that NXT will be moving to the USA Network on September 18 and will be doing a live 2-hour weekly television on Wednesday night, going head-to-head against WWE. Now I already did a video on that matter, but Cam, what are your thoughts on the news and the Wednesday night war that is brewing?
I see so many people are quick to basically quit on NXT and be a bunch of fickle clowns and say NXT is dead because they're going to mainstream. They're sellouts because they're not going to be in the underground and not be known by anybody. They're sellouts. Don't buy their records. In other words, it's basically going to be we're going to be on mainstream television now, and it'll probably just be the exact same thing, only with one more hour tacked onto it. this whole rumor of Vince is gonna get involved. It's probably gonna be a let's just get involved, but let's just meet the people and not touch anything. You can look, but you can't touch. It'll help, but it'll also expose a few cracks with the taped environment, with the former taped environment. But what about the taped environment? They have takeovers once every year, once every few months, and they're live and they don't have slip ups. Good for them. But this isn't a pay per view. This is weekly television. They're used to taping the shows weeks in advance. Now they're gonna keep going over and over and over and over. It should be fun, should be different, should be a change of pace for them and a new era for them, but let's all hope for the best. Let's all stay positive and keep a happy face until September.
Right. And I mean, it's fun, like you have two wrestling shows going head to head in prime time. It's something that hasn't happened since 2010 when TNA tried to go head to head against WWE
For a
on
cup
Monday
of
nights.
coffee.
My goodness, but I mean, this one seems smarter because I mean, Vince is definitely trying to slow AEW's momentum, but I don't think it's gonna
What if it's
work
Hunter
personally.
that wants all the smoke and not Vince?
And Vince is
He
being
wants
used
smoke.
Vince is
Gotta
being
have
used
that
as shield to protect Hunter's perfect image, I guess. So I don't know. It's pretty interesting news, and fall should be one hell of a
Rather busy.
month for WWE and AEW. And also, the crazy thing about the first week of October is AEW is gonna go head to head against NXT that week with their first episode. SmackDown's gonna have their 20th anniversary episode, and the Joker movie also comes out that same week. So that first week of October is going to be one of the busiest weeks in the entertainment industry. It's gonna be crazy.
I legit don't know what to expect when the Fox deal starts.
Yeah, nobody knows what to expect. I think that's one of the exciting things, like new network. It's like a new start, that kind of thing. And
Like, are they actually going to be on the main? Hold on, are they going to be on the main channel or FS1?
no, they're gonna be on USA Network. Like
No, SmackDown.
SmackDown's
No, yeah, they're
gonna
gonna be on Fox.
Yeah, Fox, like the main Fox, like channel 12. Yeah.
Like mine
Yeah,
is
because
8.
not many people have FS1,
Yeah, well,
so they want
FS1
to
is
put it on like on the mainstream Fox.
yeah, FS1 is like very small, like half of what
Yeah.
Fox has.
Like, it actually
viewers-wise.
used to be a channel for motorsports.
Yeah, and NASCAR and stuff like that. They even had UFC, but UFC left Fox, so
For ESPN.
yeah. And that's another thing that Dave Meltzer was reporting, the fact that Fox was expecting NXT to be on FS1 to fill the gap that was left by UFC for their fighting fans, but Vince decided that USA Network was in more homes, so they would rather keep
Smart.
on USA Network rather than FS1. But I think FS1's probably still going to get the TV, like the 1 hour TV show, talk show TV show, like after the
What if they
bell.
bring back Talking Smack?
I think that's what they're going to do, because I'm hearing rumors that there's going to be a show called After the Bell that's going to air on FS1 after
Well,
SmackDown.
that's a dope name.
Yeah, I hope that happens. And Ziggler, what have your thoughts been on the NXT's move to USA Network and the Wednesday Night War?
Like I said, like a few weeks ago or a week ago when we were talking about this, I'm excited for it. I've been wanting a 2-hour live NXT show forever, a weekly show forever. And the fact that it's going to be on the same night, on the same time as AEW on TNT, I mean, it's the fucking Wednesday Night Wars, man. It's gonna be fun. It's gonna be great. It's gonna be a fun night of wrestling, and I honestly can't wait for Wednesdays now. So yeah, I'm really excited for NXT. I honestly am. I know like this might be bad, like the first few shows because they're used to tapings and stuff, but I'm pretty sure they can get the hang of it, you know? I mean, it's WWE, they can get the hang of it.
Yeah.
So yeah.
I
And
mean,
AEW are more than likely gonna have some slip ups too, because this is gonna be like this is gonna be their first shows, you know, their
Right.
first televised shows on freaking TNT, so they're gonna have some hiccups too. So
yeah.
they're both
Yeah.
are.
A lot of the
It's
NXT.
inevitable.
Yeah, that's very true. And a lot of the NXT roster members' contracts are being converted into main roster contracts. So that pretty much gives it away that the fact that NXT now is the third brand, it's not a developmental niche brand anymore. It is basically like ECW back in 2009. It is the third brand of WWE.
Don't compare it to ECW. That's bad.
Well, not like
Then again,
ECW.
that's what Reboot ECW was turned into.
Yeah, don't compare it to
NXT.
WWE ECW, dude. Do
Well,
not.
I guess
NXT is so good.
I guess NXT is the reboot version of hard reboot version of ACW, but
Yeah.
it's 10 years. 10 years later, they're back on national television.
Yeah. Hopefully they pull it off. Hopefully both shows do well. I'm really hoping that both shows are just fantastic. That's
Yeah.
I
what
hope
we
for
all
the
can hope
best
for.
and don't be competitive like some people have been.
There's literally no losers here. Like
Yeah,
we're all winners because we get great wrestling all like every day of the week almost.
right. So we, as fans, we should probably just sit back, relax, and just enjoy
Exactly.
the wrestling. Yeah, it's very true. All right. Speaking of AEW, we had major news coming out that Jon Moxley, re-injured his elbow and will be out for All Out, and that is a huge news because he was one of the biggest draws for the show, and I mean he could still be involved in the show, but he will not be competing against Kenny Omega.
He said he's definitely coming back for the AEW on TNT, so he'd definitely be better by then.
Right, but he won't be able to compete in the marquee matchup.
Yeah.
So replacement time, it's Pac who's replacing Jon Moxley,
bastard.
which is a solid ass replacement. Now this makes me think the fact that Pac hasn't wrestled yet for AEW, maybe they were brewing a storyline with Pac, and maybe he was supposed to interfere in the match, because out of nowhere they just replaced Jon Moxley with Pac.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking too.
It's like they literally did that like as soon as it was announced. So it was like maybe he was gonna be involved, but they're like, we need to advertise Kenny Omega on the show. We can't just have him, not advertise for the show. So they're like, you know what? Let's just pull out the big guns, have Pac come in. I honestly think it's a really solid replacement, and they definitely made the best out of the situation they were dealing with. So Cam, what is your thoughts on the Jon Moxley replacement being Pac?
I'm glad that they chose a good replacement. But then again, y'all could have chose Orange Cassidy.
Main event right there.
Anyway, it should be a great match. And I hope that Moxley gets well. It's MRSA, which is a lesion in the Moxley has MRSA in his elbow. He originally hurt his elbow back in 2017. It's an infection caused by a type of staph bacteria that's become resistant to many of the antibiotics used to treat ordinary staph infections. I'm reading this off of Mayo Clinic, by the way. So it's an infection that he's gotten from the old injury.
The old injury bug. Yeah, hopefully it recovers soon and recovers fully. And Ziggler, what are your thoughts on the news?
Yeah, I saw the news reported, and once I first saw it, I was like, oh man, fuck. I was kind of pissed off. I know you can't like help like getting injured, so it's like no one's fault really, but it's still like I was like it brought me down a little bit because that was one of the matches like that was up there to one of the matches I was looking forward to on the pay-per-view. And that's like a big marquee match, and like everyone wanted to see that. I believe Moxley versus Omega, everyone wanted to see that. Like two of the biggest wrestlers probably in the world right now. Like everyone wanted to see that match, and then like not even like a hour later, they announced Bastard Pac to replace him. So now it's gonna be Kenny Omega versus Pac, and I literally was so surprised and was so happy. I believe this is a better, even though I was really looking forward to Mox versus Omega. I believe Pac versus Kenny is a much better matchup, and I didn't know I won that match until I saw it. Until I saw it on Twitter, on Instagram. It was I literally cannot wait for that match now. I'm hoping they give that match a lot of time, like maybe like 20 minutes, 25. Hell, they can go all night. I don't give a fuck. I fucking love that match. It's gonna be a fun match, and it's gonna be a fun night. I can't wait for AEW All Out. Are you guys gonna buy it? Are you guys gonna watch it? Or
Yeah, definitely gonna buy it on pay-per-view.
yeah, I know you didn't buy Double or Nothing, I believe, right?
Nah.
I didn't do Double or Nothing. I was just watching the free shows.
Yeah.
'Cause I'm too
So
broke
yeah.
for this shit.
So yeah, I literally cannot wait for it now, and I feel like I'm more anticipated for this match than Mox versus Omega. I don't know, probably just me, but this match has potential to be match of the fucking year. So yeah.
Yeah, should be a really fun match. And so with that, here is our final news of the day. Dwight Howard ended up signing with the Lakers after DeMarcus Cousins went down with an ACL injury. They worked out Joakim Noah and Dwight Howard, and Lakers decided to sign Dwight Howard to, I believe, a minimum deal because he was brought out by the Grizzlies. And I'm personally really happy that Dwight is going to play next year because the man is, I think he's still, even though his athleticism is down, I think he's still a very talented big man and definitely still one of the better centers in the NBA. So I'm surprised more teams weren't looking to get his services, but the Lakers were, of course, interested and able to nab him. So I think that's a really good replacement for DeMarcus Cousins, who sadly has to go through a third major injury in like the last 19 months or so, which is like so sad, but hopefully he recovers well too. Cam, did you hear about the news and what are your thoughts?
I only heard like one thing about it with the Dwight Howard trade. He was with the Lakers before, right?
That's correct. Originally when he requested the trade from Orlando, he was traded to Los Angeles in a big time 3-team deal. Things didn't work out and he left the next year in free agency.
Well, let's just hope that it's better this time.
Yeah, I think him and LeBron probably will get along better than him and Kobe because he was always joking around and stuff, and Kobe was always the serious guy. I think LeBron is more easygoing and stuff, so I think he should be able to work fine with LeBron and AD. So yeah, all right. So with that, we're gonna wrap up this week's episode. Thank you for tuning in, everybody. And Cam, you got an outro for this week?
Just play it.
Just play the damn music.
Hey everyone, hope you enjoyed that video and make sure to like, share, and subscribe. And click on the channel to check out some more awesome videos like our movie and wrestling debates and our interviews with people like the Wrestling Classic and Jordan Jomo from the IGWC. And we are definitely looking into delivering you all some more content in the near future, so definitely be on the lookout for that. And thank you for your support.